nothing sparked me. It wasn't a goal. It wasn't a passion. It wasn't I got the drive to do this. It just happened. We had an idea, man, let's go sign up for culinary school. And I don't know if he's seen something that I didn't, but I'm the only one who ended up signing up. I got into the school. I did everything I was supposed to do. I knocked it out. Out of 34 of us, only 2 of us graduated, me being one. Me, I didn't want to start something, I didn't finish it. So I ended up finishing, and like I said, as time went on, I just started to grow a love for for cooking. Did a couple restaurants, man, and that same buddy that, I went to sign up to school with, we had a discussion. He was telling me, like, man, you got the skill set. Yeah. Like, why are you working for somebody? They can easily find somebody else, but, like, they need you. Like, you don't need them, and I slept on that, and I talked to some people around me, some key people around me, and I asked them for their input. I talked to the big man upstairs, and, man, I took that leap of faith. Yeah. That first month was rough, but after that, man, I really cannot sit up here and lie to you, man. It's been on go ever since then.
You can feel it, feel it. Oh, yeah, I know you feel it. Woo! Yeah, I know you feel it. Yeah, I know you feel it. Yeah, I know you feel it. And it goes 1, 2 step. There's no time for regret. And it goes 1, 2 step. If you need time out, just bounce back. And it goes 1, 2 step. Always be, so don't you look back. 'Cause I can feel it, yeah, I can feel it now. It's hard to believe it. The blessings I'm receiving is proof you can believe it. Feel the brand new season. Leave behind them demons. It's all about releasing and be proud of your achievement. I feel like I'm strong enough now. I feel like I'm grown enough now. I feel like I'm wise enough. My time has come. My time has come.
Passion is energy, and there is so much power and influence when we focus on the things that excite us. And Paul Dickens' story really demonstrates how we can grow into our passions, how we can scale an idea and build a business model around it. My name is David Gibson, and this is the QuEST series where we share the stories of small business owners. And today we have the opportunity to sit down with Paul Dickens of Paul's Kitchen. Now, what's interesting about his story is that initially the passion wasn't there, but he explains how through experimentation and exposure, eventually that passion grew and it took on a life form of itself. He talks about his journey as a personal chef, as well as the importance of really surrounding yourself with a community and building that community, as he credits the city of Indianapolis to his growth and development. He shares a lot of information, a lot of great insights in this conversation. So please join in with me in this conversation that I'm having with Paul Dickens.
Great day to you, family, man. How you feeling, brother?
Feeling good, man.
Awesome, man. We are excited to have you, man, to learn a little bit about your story, your journey, what you're up to, and essentially what's happening in the very near future. So without further ado, man, introduce yourself. Who are you? Who is Chef Paul? What do you do? What is your mission?
My name is Paul, Chef Paul. I am the owner of Paul's Kitchen here in Indianapolis, Indiana. Specialized small catering, personal private services, satisfying your appetite.
Sure, man. So I want to learn more about like what really planted the seed within you to take that initial step.
Man, honesty, man, it nothing sparked me. It wasn't a goal. It wasn't a passion. It wasn't I got the drive to do this. It just happened. You know, I signed up for culinary school back in 2010. Completed the program, and while I was in the program, I kind of fell in love with the cooking aspect. So I never really paid attention to the book work. You know, that was my time to sleep. I was going to school at 6:30 in the morning, so I'd knock out the cooking course, and then after that, in the book work, that was my sleeping time. So, I mean, I kind of developed a love for the cooking aspect around that time. And then from there, it was just like, man, from here, I want to take it. I want to work for a cruise ship or a 4 or 5 star hotel or restaurant. I just thought that was the way to go.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know nothing about the industry. I just knew if I get into one of those things, I could make a bunch of money. I could cook good food, and that's that. Especially with the cruise line, I could travel. I could do those things. Not really doing my homework and really paying attention to exactly what those job titles were.
Yeah.
So, I mean, from there, man, things just started to align for me.
Yeah.
So, no planning, no goals, no nothing. I just did it.
So it was almost like you had this idea to sign up for culinary school, and then like doors just started to open up.
I was young, you know, wild. Me and my buddy, we tried out a tech school. I tried out a tech school first. I graduated for electrical system technician.
Nice.
And I'm just like, man, this ain't gonna do it. I went to do a couple of interviews. They told me the pay rate. I was just like, nah, this ain't gonna cut it.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? We went back to the drawing board. We had an idea, man, let's go sign up for culinary school. And I don't know if he's seen something that I didn't, but I'm the only one who ended up signing up, you know? And like I said, from there, it's just I got into the school. I did everything I was supposed to do. I knocked it out. Out of 34 of us, only 2 of us graduated, me being one. So, you know what I mean? With me, I didn't want to start something I didn't finish it. So I ended up finishing, and like I said, as time went on, I just started to grow a love for you know what I mean, for cooking. Yeah. You know, and then I got into the restaurant industry. I learned a lot, you know, especially from my first job at Buca di Beppo's, an Italian restaurant here downtown India, man. You know, went in there, got in the dish tank, and you learn a lot from them dishes. You know, you can survive the dish tank, man. You can survive anywhere in this industry. I'll tell you that. But did a couple restaurants, man, and that same buddy that, you know what I mean, I went to sign up to school with, we had a discussion, and he was telling me, like, man, you got the skill set. Like, why are you working for somebody? You know, they can easily find somebody else, but, like, they need you. Like, you don't need them. You know, and I slept on that, you know, and I talked to some people around me, some key people around me, and I asked them for their input. I talked to the big man upstairs, and, man, I took that leap of faith. Yeah. That first month was rough, you know. But after that, man, I really cannot sit up here and lie to you, man. It's been on go ever since then. Yeah. You know, July 2015, I've rarely sat down. Man, by the grace of God, man, the city backed me. Like I was out here trapping meals, you know? You know what I mean? I'm hustling meals from every side of town.
That's real.
I'm using Instagram. That's basically how I got my name, you know? So I put my name out there on Instagram. I'm selling meals. I'm out of a 1-bedroom apartment, cooking them in my kitchen. I got people coming to my apartment. If they can't make it to my apartment, I'm pulling up on them. So that's how I built my name, Chef Paul's Kitchen, man. Like, the city of Indianapolis really got behind me. Yeah. I showed up, I showed out, I did what I was supposed to do, but I always remained humble through it all. Yeah. You know, and from there, different doors started opening, catering, you know. So I did the catering aspect, meal prepping. I was doing any and everything I could, man, just to get my name out there.
So, man, you gave us a lot to unpack there. Yeah. Right? Like you literally went through the small business journey of the initiation process of learning a skill, developing a craft, honing in on the product or the service that you're creating, and having to figure out how to market it, bring it to the marketplace, and develop your brand. I want to do a quick rewind because you kind of mentioned this, and then you kind of swept past this real quick. But you said in culinary school there was 34 individuals.
34
and only 2 of them made it.
Anywhere between 33, 35 for sure.
Uh-huh.
Only 2 of us made it, man.
But I think that in itself is something that, like, we see the chef shows, you know, in prime time on TV, and we see how intense it is depending upon the character, the person that is actually hosting that show. Like, what is it like, or how vigorous is it, like, that process of getting that certification?
I mean, it's like anything else, man. It's hard work, and you got to be dedicated to it. I mean, anything can seem easy once you adapt to it. You know what I'm saying? But like lately, man, I'm waking up at 5:30 in the morning. I had to be at school in my seat, ready to line up at 6:30. No ands, ifs, or buts. You know, so. I mean, it took hard work and dedication, man. I won't lie to you. As you start to form a routine, like I said, once you start adapting to something and started kind of like, okay, I like this. This may go somewhere. I don't know where it's gonna go, but I like being here. You know. Then I ate good every day. So you know what I mean. That kept me in line too. So I mean, it's just putting in the work, man. Showing up and just enjoying the ride, man. Just seeing where it's gonna take you.
If I were to ask you, what would you say is the one thing that separated you from those that didn't necessarily make it through the entire process? What would it be? Like one characteristic, or what was it about you that really got you over the edge and completed that difficult task?
I started seeing people like leave the class and leave the program because of money. You know, like some people, they was just going to school for the check then, you know, and you know what I mean? Some people just couldn't do it. You got the chefs that be in your face, you know what I mean? Not no Ramsay or nothing like that, but like they be on you. A lot of people, they wasn't built for that, you know? So I know they there to do their job. I'm there just to get an education. So I never let none of that break me. I wasn't there for the money, no nothing. Like I said, it was just something that I signed up for. I started to like it. So I wanted to stick with it until the end. Yeah. Whether it worked or not, you know what I mean? I knew I was going to leave there saying I completed the program. Yeah. You know, so like I said, after seeing so many people fall out of the program, I wasn't going to be that person.
So then you talked about how you transitioned into what we would call like an apprenticeship, where you went underneath another chef and you were working for a restaurant. What was that process like?
See, once I got the Buca de Beppo, man, like it was all work, man. Like for real, like I'm talking about on a Tuesday, you can walk in, it's 250 covers. You know what I'm saying? So like me never working a hotline or working in a dish tank where you've got 250 people coming in, like that's where you get the speed from. Yeah. But you also, you know what I mean, you start to train your mind, like, you know what I mean, how can I make this work for me? You know, not get overwhelmed, not get behind on work. Like, how can I make this work for me? And you start to find a structure, you know what I mean, and it just starts to build from there. So I did the dish tank for maybe like 3 months, but the whole 3 months I was in the dish tank, nobody knew. They knew I was in school, but nobody knew I could cook. You know what I mean? I'm just a kid that goes to school. Yeah. But from the dish tank, I could see the outline. So I could see from salads to pasta to saute to pizza in the back. So I'm watching everybody. I'm watching every move. I'm going to get the pans. I'm paying attention. You know what I'm saying? And when it slows down, I find myself on the hotline making me lunch or something while the head chef is away. And the crew started to say, like, hey, y'all need to get him over here. Put him on pizza. Do something. He know what he doing. Like, give him a chance. And man, them people spoke up for me. I really wasn't trying to. I was comfortable in the dish tank just watching them. But, you know what I mean? I got on from the dish tank to the pizza, from pizza to saute to pasta, to it's just like, if I could do this, I could do anything. Like I said, from 250 covers on a Tuesday, you might come in on a weekend, you got 1,000 to 1,500. All the conventions in the city of Indianapolis, man, we had the Super Bowl while I was there. You got the firefighter convention. So you dealing with thousands of people, and they choosing this restaurant that I happen to work at. So it's either you gonna show up and show out, or you got to get out of here. Yeah, you know what I mean. So that Buca built my character. That's where I developed my speed and my patience from. And from there, it was just okay. Let's rock and roll.
And that's amazing right there, what you're talking about,
Yeah.
where you went to a facility, an organization, or essentially a spot where you can just develop your skill set and hone in on your craft and find out what makes you unique in the culinary industry. But you mentioned while you were talking about that, how at the restaurant, they didn't know you can cook.
Yeah,
They didn't know what you were capable of, right? And not only was there people in the restaurant that didn't know that you had the ability to cook, but also out in the public, right? Like, describe that transition of, and I think many people that have ideas and they have side hustles, right? And they're looking to scale, and then other people may not be aware of what they're doing. Like, how do you get the word and the message out? Because a lot of times people ain't gonna take you seriously, right?
No.
You know what I mean? They may come up to you, and they maybe even be some friends or family members, and like, hey, you still got that little thing going on, you know what I mean? Or that little idea that you're working on, and it's to you, like, this right here is something, it's your mission, it's your calling, it's something that you're passionate about. So how are you able to make that transition to being unknown as a chef to now being a household name? And I'm gonna go ahead and speak that into existence.
I appreciate that. Nah, man, staying on it. Like, man, none of the restaurants that I worked at, I never worked under like real chefs. Like, we're in Indiana, we ain't in New York, we're not in Napa, we're not, like, it's the same food you cooking on a daily basis. But, you know, one restaurant I was able to kind of like show my creativity a little bit. And that was the last restaurant I worked at, which happened to be a country club. So, you know what I mean? I started to show my creativity, and man, I always fed the waiters and the waitresses, the bartenders, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of who I showed my creativity to. And they would go back and say, he knows what he's doing. Like, won't y'all let him come up with a meal for this or that? And they wouldn't want to hear that. So, you know what I mean? That's when the idea came, you know what I mean? Me and my buddy was talking, and he told me, like, bro, you have the skill set. You know what I mean? You got it. Why are you still working a job? Like, put it out there for the people to try. Just see where it goes. And I needed that, man. Like, that motivated me. So, you know what I mean? I got out there, like I said, I kept my job and I utilized Instagram. And I just randomly said at work one day, I'm selling this on Sunday. It was a Friday. I'll never forget. It was a Friday. I posted it. Sunday, I was selling the meals. First time I ever did it, I sold like 17 meals. You know, I did it again the following week. I sold close to 30 meals. The week after that, I sold over 30 meals. So that's when I realized, man, I might have something here. And I'm cooking basic food, but it's just like, you don't normally see your average, you know what I mean, 23, 25-year-old black kid, you know what I mean, selling food out of his house. You know what I mean? Like, food, you know what I mean? Stuff your mama, you grew up at your mama house or your grandma house.
Yeah, that's soul food.
Yeah, but I always put my twist on it, you know what I'm saying? So it was never nothing, everything's fried, everything's heavily seasoned, you know what I'm saying? I use the things I learned from culinary along with the things that I knew I grew up with, that I knew people would like to eat, and I put my own twist to it. Yeah. So from there, I just started to develop that name, you know? So like I said, man, the city got behind me. I was pulling up to gyms. I'm doing meal preps for gyms. I met so many connections doing that. You know what I mean? I wasn't even thinking business-wise. I just wanted to feed people, get my name out there. So literally, man, I would say the first 4 years, I would say it was for me to get my name out there. I wasn't worried about the business, constructing, you know what I mean, running it like a business. I had my name and everything registered. But, like, I didn't know the business aspect. I just know I got to get this food out. People got to know about Paul's Kitchen. And, man, it blew up in my face. You know, it was a good thing, but it took off.
So can you remember, like, that moment when you knew, where it was like, hey, man, it's time for me to take this thing full force? What was that feeling like?
I was on my way. I had already cooked for a couple of athletes. But like I never really met him. It was like, hey, I know somebody who knows somebody, and it was like, you know what I mean? You see him, but you know what I mean, you don't have really that communication. Right. And I got this email, man, and this guy reached out to me and was like, man, I found you on Instagram. You know, I didn't know nothing to this day about, you know what I mean, the explore pages or nothing like that. Yeah. I don't know how this guy found me, but he found me. And I told them I was on my way. They was trying to do a tasting, and I told them I was on my way to a funeral. When I come back, let's knock it out. Came back the very next day. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to miss out. I didn't know who this person was or nothing. He didn't say anything. I didn't ask no questions.
He reached out to you via Instagram.
Via email. Got my email from Instagram.
But he saw you on Instagram.
Saw me on Instagram.
Okay.
And we did a tasting. I got hired on the spot. You know, and from there, that's when I was just like, man, people really paying attention. Like, not just the people in the city. Like, this man came from a whole nother state. Like, what made him reach out to me?
Yeah.
And yeah, he was local, but somebody had to tell him about me just for him to reach out to me. You feel what I'm saying? And from there, that's when I was really like, man, I might really have something here. You know what I'm saying? So from there, I made sure I stayed consistent. You know what I mean? To this day, I fall off sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We all have our back pedals, but you know what I mean? For the most part, I stayed consistent, man. I never said no. I took on every opportunity that came my way. Good opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm here now.
And you grinding, man. I love it, man.
The grind is never over, but now it's just structuring the business.
Yeah, so talk about that. Like, you know, it's more than just you developing recipes and you creating meals, but there's a structure that has to be implemented, a system that has to be put in place. What was that process like for you where here you've honed in on your craft, you've got your certifications, you have what you need to run a business, but now you have to transition to running a successful business with an effective plan?
Man, I had to fall back. Like, literally, I had to stop. I stopped cooking for maybe a couple months just because I like I said, I was doing so much, but I wasn't paying attention to what I was spending on food. You know what I mean? My food costs. What was my profit for this and that? So I literally took a stop for a couple months, and I really had to sit back and say, okay, what are we doing with this? You know what I mean? How can we take it to the next level? How can we really structure this and run it like a business? You know, so I didn't have an accountant, you know, I didn't have nothing. It was just me. And then, you know what I mean, my wife came along, so like she did a lot of the paperwork, but like I didn't oversee it, you know what I mean? So I took time off and I tried to really try to understand the business aspect.
Yeah.
You know, like the business has nothing to do with the kitchen. You know, with me it was just I just want to cook. I don't want to do nothing else. I just want to cook.
Yeah.
But I realized if I do that, you got to structure somehow a team. You can't do all this on your own. So, you know what I mean? I'm still learning. Like I said, the first 4 or 5 years it was just grind. And I'm going on my 7th year in. I'm just now understanding the business aspect. You know, nothing came overnight. You know what I'm saying? So it's staying with it. Falling back sometimes and really paying attention to what you got, because you might lose it. Not because of your lack of work ethic, but just because you don't understand how to structure this thing as a business that really take it to the next level. It was work, man. It is work, you know.
It's a continuous process, man.
It's a process.
And one thing about it, though, I love how you mentioned how you learn.
Yeah.
Like through every experience, through every episode, through every client, you're learning. What would be, I would say, the biggest challenge that you have faced as you have taken this journey? And what was the lesson that you learned from that challenge?
I got content. Ooh, I can tell you off back, man. It got to a point where I got content. It's like, man, people know me. I never got big-headed. You know what I mean? I don't want to put that out there. I never got big-headed. To this day, I'm probably one of the most humblest people. I don't know why people always tell me, man, brag about yourself a little bit, but that's never been me. Yeah. But I did get content a few times along this journey, you know what I'm saying? And I had to realize, if you want more, like, you can't, why are you satisfied with this? You know what I'm saying? Like, I started traveling and seeing different things. It's just like, you can do so much more. Don't just put yourself in this box, you know what I mean? Just because you're here, that don't mean you stay here. You got to elevate, you know what I'm saying? My family got bigger, you know what I mean? The bills steady coming. Hey, man, you got to make moves, but you got to make the right moves, you know what I'm saying? it's not about hustling no more. You know what I'm saying? We ain't hustling meals no more. We ain't just, you know what I mean, trying to serve this person food and serve, like, everything has to make sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I've learned that, and that's where I'm at now. So it's just developing a team, trying to develop a team, trying to bring people around me who actually have the same love for cooking that I do. Because like I said, I like to learn from people. I don't know everything. I'm not the best cook in the world, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't scared to get my hands dirty, you know what I'm saying? So if I can learn from somebody who's a home cook, an Instagram cook, whatever you want to call them, I'm there.
Yeah.
I won't say nothing. It's your show. Just show me what to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not afraid of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I said, it's continual just learning, man. Never getting big-headed and not being content. You know what I mean? Knowing that it can always be bigger than what it is.
Yeah. And you mentioned just recently on Instagram, right? And if you guys are not connected with Paul, be sure to connect with Paul. Quick disclaimer, if you are hungry, if you haven't ate, by the time you scroll through his page, you know, your appetite will reach an all-time high.
I appreciate
when you
that.
see the food, the images on there. But one thing that I've been seeing you post on your Instagram page is really some videos talking about some of the like crazy requests that chefs get.
Man.
Like when people call, clients will call, and they're looking for services, and they're asking, you know, making certain types of requests. The question I got for you, Paul, is this. Like, what is something that many people don't understand about the culinary industry or just being a chef that you wish they would understand?
Cooking is the easy part. Cooking is that's the last step of the process, especially with catering or even when it comes to personal services. Like, you go from cooking a recipe you might have tried for 2 people at home. Now you got to make this same recipe for 50 people. But it has to taste the same. You know what I'm saying? You have to learn how to engage with people. Be yourself. You got to learn punctuation, like be on time. You know, like people don't see the creating the menu, the back and forth conversations, the grocery shopping. Like a catering event can easily take you 2 to 3 days, depending on how big the catering event is. So that's 2 or 3 days. And I'm not making no money. This is dedicated to one event. You get some people, hey, I want $500, $700 budget, and they want to feed 50 people. They want the lobsters, the crabs, and it's just like, no,
it don't make sense.
But it just don't make sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say I put in all my work, all the hard work, but I put in enough work to where I could respectfully decline that offer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And everything ain't for everybody. I had to learn that because I used to try to find ways where I could just make this person happy. Where I'm losing money because I'm spending more money than I'm actually making.
Speak on that. Speak on that.
In the beginning, I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
You know, I had to do what I had to do to get my name out. I wasn't worried about how much money I could make. Like, I done gave so much food away. I've had people, I used to randomly go through my contacts and just call people, text people, hey, you free? Pull up over here. I need you to try this. I do it because it's like I need the people's opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People always say, why you don't eat your own food? I do, but like, I want to know the people's, you know what I mean? What do the people think? That's who I'm feeding. You know, I'm trying to satisfy their appetite, not mine. You know, so I like, I'm a real person, man. I like real feedback, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you can't just be out here working for nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like, them days is, I ain't gonna say they over with, but for the most part, them days is gone. You know, I would just say for the people out there, when you request anybody's services, you know what I mean, whether it's yours, it's mine, like, you have to be respectful of what those people say. If they say, hey, I charge this, I charge that, you have to respect that. That's that person's time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't get time back. I got 4 kids, man. I can't just take pennies to satisfy a crowd of 50. You know what I'm saying? And I miss out on baseball games, track meets, and all that. Like,
it's real.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
You know? So I would just say for the people out there, just respectfully, you know what I mean, honor people's time.
And I think that goes across the board, man. As as for small business owners, period.
Yeah.
Where, you may have a brick and mortar, you may have an e-commerce store, and you always got people hitting you up wanting a discount, right? Man. How much can I squeeze out of them and get the most out of this transaction, so to speak? And they fail to realize that, man, you got overhead. Man. Not only that, you're running your business, and then you also got a family that you're providing for. So, it's something that I think, like you mentioned, you have to be disciplined enough to set your standard, right? To set your standard on what you're willing to tolerate and what you're not going to tolerate.
Exactly.
So let me ask you this then, Paul. You've talked about your journey up until this point now, lessons that you've learned, the process that you had to implement and put in place, systems that you had to adopt, the standards that you had to set. What's next, man? What's the next thing you're working on?
I don't know, man. I'm enjoying the journey, man. Every day it could be something new. You don't know what that next email gonna say. You don't know what that next opportunity could be. So I'm just enjoying the journey, man. I'm really. I could say now I have a passion for it. You know what I'm saying? At first, I'm not going to lie, I didn't have a passion. It was just something that I thought was fun. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have, like I said from the beginning, I didn't have no dreams, no goals, no drive to do this. It just happened. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I had to ask myself, like, this didn't just happen for no reason. Right. You ain't doing the things that you doing for no reason. You know what I mean? I haven't had a job in 7 years. That ain't for no reason. Like, right. It's a reason why I'm here in this position. So it's like I have to start taking advantage of it. Mm-hmm. So, you know what I mean? I don't want a restaurant, you know what I'm saying? But I think maybe, a food truck, something fun. I want to get back to the people, man. Like I said, man, the city of Indianapolis backed me from the beginning. So I want to find a way where I could kind of, get back to them. Mm-hmm. So I think the food truck may be the most exciting way to go about that. Yeah. So
I want to backtrack real quick though, because you bring up a very interesting point on how when you initially started, the passion wasn't there, right? But you had the willingness to experiment, to discover some things that you liked and enjoyed, and then the passion evolved over an extended period of time. Mm-hmm. You started to grow into it. And now the passion is there, right? And when you're creating recipes, when you're in the kitchen, like I can see it in your videos. You know what I mean? Like I've been in the kitchen with you, and when you're in your element, like you zoned out. With that being said, like what drives you in this? Like what is the why behind what you do?
I've never done anything for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm the type, man, I put so much into everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like now it's like, man, I got something. I know I have some kind of talent, and this is it. So it's like I said, I have to take advantage of it. So now I'm opening my books back up. I'm trying not to get caught in the whole Instagram, social media, trends, anything like that. So it's just, homing in on the craft now, going back to studying, looking at different like chefs, that's out there. Cause I didn't know what a chef was. I thought he was just a guy who made fancy food, small plates, and mainly French cuisine. Even though I was in school, I just thought that's what a chef was. Yeah. So a lot of times people like, oh, this chef probably like, nah, I'm just a cook. But then I had to tell myself, like, man, first off, I paid for that title. you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And now I'm starting to develop and train myself to where I'm gonna hone in on that title. Yeah. So just my thing now is just honing in on my skills, man. Really learning different things, different techniques, learning from different people that's out there.
With that being said, man, you've taken this leap. You're a small business owner. You take your craft seriously. You're constantly focusing on improving and developing your unique skill set. And there's many people that may be watching and tuning in that hold those same values, right? They've got an idea, they got a dream, they have a vision. Like when they begin to reflect on it, the hairs on the back of their neck begin to stand up, but then like they're afraid or they're intimidated or feel as if they can't handle the next level, or they're afraid of the uncertainty, the unknown. I mean, we all know the journey of entrepreneurship and running a small business. You know, it comes with its fair share of anxieties, you know, a lot of emotions that you have to learn to navigate in order for you to stay on path and to create the results that you're aiming to create and to serve the people that you're aiming to serve. What would you say to that person that's on the edge, that has something, a concept, an idea, a gift, a talent, a business model that they want to pursue, but they're hesitant or apprehensive? What would your words be to them?
Put it out there. You know, even if it doesn't have to be, everybody don't have to be a boss. You know what I'm saying? Your side hustle can make you just as much money as a 9-to-5. You know what I mean? You can do both. It don't always have to be, I'm an entrepreneur. Like, I think the best way to go about it is learn as much as you possibly can while you have a 9-to-5. You know what I'm saying? Put that ideal out there. Put that concept out there. Like, study, man. Like, hard work for real. Like, I'm like, when I tell you I'm learning so much about myself these last 2 years, like, hard work, man. If you don't put that in, you're not going nowhere. And you can't be afraid of people. Like, you know what I'm saying? The people is what's going to get you to where you want to be. You know what I'm saying? Without the people, if you don't put that concept out there to the people, you don't put them ideas out there to the people, it's not going nowhere. It's just going to be in here. And you're going to be complaining about your bills and X, Y, and Z, why this person doing this and I ain't doing that. I had that idea. You don't put it out there, man, you're not going nowhere. It's that simple.
Community-based.
Community-based.
I love it, man.
Start from home, man. That's why I love my city, man, because I tell people all the time, no matter what athlete, what corporation I cook for, no nothing, man, I treat everybody the same because I got my name from the community. I built my business from the community. It's that simple.
For sure, man. I love it, man.
Oh.
So before we end to wrap things up, Paul, how can people connect with you and learn more about you?
You can find me on Instagram at Paul's_Kitchen15. You can check out our website at Chef Paul's. Look at that, man. I'll never be on there. ChefPaulsKitchen.com. It might be ChefPaulDickens.com.
ChefPaulsKitchen.com. Check it out.
I need to figure that out. Hey, can we stop this real quick? What's my website?
ChefPaulsKitchen.com.
You sure?
I know it is, Doc.
ChefPaulsKitchen.com.
See, he's too busy in the kitchen.
I don't do the.
He's too busy in the kitchen, man. He's up here, mixing these recipes up.
I get people all the time tell me, man, your social media page is amazing, your website is amazing. Like, a lot of times, I really don't pay it no attention, man. I post, I get off. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get caught up in it. You know what I'm saying? I'm scared to get caught up in it because I have before. So, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate it all, man. Like I said, Instagram, Paul's_Kitchen15, website, ChefPaulsKitchen.com. We're going to try to start putting newsletters out where we can keep people updated on things that we're doing, different events. I know private services and catering is not for everybody. So, like, when we do public events, you'll be able to see when and where we'll be. So, just stay tuned.
Stay tuned, man. Stay tuned. Let's eat.
Everything right there,
let's eat. Well, man, I appreciate your time, man, sharing your story, learning more about your mission and the vision that you have, man. Keep doing great and amazing things. In the meantime, family, thank you guys for tuning in the QuEST series. We got many more small business owners and creators to come. So look forward to you guys tuning in the very near future. Also, be effective, be successful, live with some passion, and most importantly, be powerful. Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you, man.
I've always wanted to start a company, and I've always wanted to build a business. Building a business, I believe, has an opportunity to make a big impact on communities, your country, the world.
We're going hard in the paint, ain't nobody gonna stop us. The only way we going out if you pull out the choppers. All that slander and your hate will propel us like helicopters. We serve it well, here's the appetizer, call it toppers. Toppers, 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 young.